Hello again. In our previous video, we spent some time talking about some ideas to get a choir started within your corps for young children. So you've done that, you have your choir together and you're ready to get started. So what possibly does that time together look like? It's so important, first of all, to take the time to get to know the children that are in your choir and make sure that they are getting to know each other. It truly is crucial for a choir to stick together. People at any age want to feel connected. And so really watch and make sure that the children in your choir are connecting with each other and making friends with each other. It's also important for you as the leader to take some time to get to know the parents and guardians of the children in your choir. It's good to have a good working relationship with them, and after all, they are allowing you to lead and to teach their children. So work on the relationship with the parents and guardians too of the children in your choir. Warm-ups is a very important aspect to all of your rehearsals, not just to physically warm up the voice, but it really serves to sort of focus in the attention of your choir members right at the start. Warm-ups also teach good vocal skills, but kind of in a fun and interesting way. So they're developing their vocal technique, but they don't necessarily recognize it as that. Having your warm-ups at the start of rehearsal also builds a routine. So children come into practice and they expect that warm-ups will be first. They get to know the warm-ups really well and they feel really good about that. So they feel really good at the start of their rehearsal. I personally think that musical games and interactive music learning can be a really important part of your regular rehearsals. Of course, this depends on the age group, so you have to be a little mindful of that. But musical games can be a fun way to start a rehearsal. It can be a nice reward at the end of a very good rehearsal. I've used it sometimes even in the middle of practice. Maybe your rehearsal is not being super productive, and so this is, a small musical game can be a great way to break things up, maybe burn off some of the extra energy that might be going on in the room, and yeah, to continue learning your music at the same time. When it comes to your actual songs, how do you go about teaching those songs? Well, I kind of think of it in three different ways. You can hand out your sheet music, so the words and the notes, to each of your choir members. You have to be careful with the age of your group that you do this with. If you have a very young choir who they haven't been music reading, they've only just begun learning how to read, they can kind of just get frustrated and lost in all those pages of sheet music. If you have a choir that maybe would be a little more comfortable with that, it is important to introduce music reading to them, even if they're just watching for the direction that the notes are moving in, or are they the long notes, are they the short notes? So use your discretion, but sheet music is an option. The second option that works fairly well is if you decided to type out the words to your song and simply hand that out. So it gives something for choir members to follow along with, but also something that they can take home and review. But you still have to teach them the music orally. Thirdly, you can not use any sheet music, no words, and just have them memorize what it is you are teaching to them. I think a well-rounded choir would try and use all three of those methods at some time or another. So you've done your rehearsing. Where and when should you sing? And I think you should sing at every available opportunity that you are feeling prepared to take part in. If you've started your choir within your corps, then the corps and the worship services you have are a wonderful place, I think, that your children can enter into worship, can provide some music for worship, and I think they'll be very supported in that setting. I would encourage you to take your choir members outside the corps building sometimes. So maybe you take them to a nursing home, or if there's someone in your corps who's sick and shut in and you have a nice afternoon, go stand on their front lawn and sing for them. Any sort of opportunities that you can take to sing out in the community, I think would be important as well. So we're teaching them the importance of ministry and worship within your corps setting, but also within your community, your broader community. Anytime I've had conversations with professional musicians about their early music experiences, most of them tell me that it was fun. They loved going to their choir practices. They loved going to their music lessons. They had a teacher who was super cool, or a teacher that was really, really nice, or a lot of fun. So don't worry if you don't have every musical aspect figured out all the time. Don't worry if you haven't figured out the best strategy yet for your choir. That all takes time and experience. As we continue to work through this video series and we bring you more detailed information that will help you in that way, please email us any questions and feedback that you have for us. You can contact me at heather_osmond@can.salvationarmy.org. Also, if you like our Facebook page and subscribe to us on YouTube, you will see all that new information as soon as it becomes available, and you can leave your feedback there as well. We want to hear from you. We want to hear how we can assist you in your music ministry in this territory.